Hello, this is Steve Cornelius, Commonwealth Journal, and welcome to another edition of the Commonwealth Journal Sports Show. I'm standing in front of you at the William Clark Field. It's December, it's snowing, and we're still playing football here at Somerset High School. They're preparing to play for the state finals, which will be their second in 2 years, their sixth overall, and we'll be having some features on that. Also, we'll be previewing the Southwestern High School boys and girls basketball teams. So basketball starting this week also, but we still got some football to play, so hope you enjoy today's show. Thank you. And I ask questions anybody can answer or whatever, okay?
Raise your hand before you answer.
Do we have to raise our hands?
Just talk about this season, what it's been like this season, sort of the ups and downs, and just anybody talk about that. Anybody?
Anybody want to talk about the season? We've had a pretty good season. We've had a few moments where we've had to face some adversity. We played some pretty good teams that we have rose up to and eventually beat. I'd say that's about how our seasons went. Overall, pretty good.
Talk about winning that Lexington Christian game and how big that was. I know it was early in the playoffs, but that was sort of a huge game and it sort of gave y'all the momentum where you're at. Talk about that, how big that game was for y'all.
That game was huge for us. Coming out and losing to them the first time we played them, it brought us down a little bit, but it made us rise up and realize how much we wanted to win that game and how bad we wanted it. And I think we all rose to that, really focused and played to the best of our abilities. I think that helped a lot.
Okay. Chase, talk about y'all being seniors. Summers has been to state finals 6 times, have never won it. What did it mean to you all to be able to be the first group to maybe to leave here with a state championship?
Well, I won't say anything for certain yet, but we've been together since early middle school, all of us, when we stuck it out, and it really shows that we're the backbone of the team and really come together as one big family. And we're really focused on the goal, and hopefully we can be the one to rewrite the history books.
Talk about Alex. I know he's a part of this group and he got injured, but you all have sort of really rallied around him and y'all have used him in the celebration ceremony. Just talk about how important he has been to the team, even on the sidelines. Anybody?
You'll never find another person that loves football as much as Alex. He is through and through 100%. Football is always on his mind at all times, and he's kind of who this season's for. He went down against Hazard, and he probably won't ever get to play high school football again, and we've done it for him.
Do any of y'all ever, when you're playing on the sidelines, see him and sort of motivate you all to do more for him?
Absolutely, yes. See him every day at the house. He's a leader. He don't have to say He's a leader. He don't have to say anything. We all just kind of see the way he acts. He's already in the gym getting ready for his dreams of playing college. He literally leads by everything he does, and he's just a leader for sure.
All right, let's end it. Somebody give me some kind of chant y'all do or something.
Break it down.
No.
Jumper pride on 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you want to get up and do like a huddle?
Nah, you do. Just sit down.
You can do it right there.
Jump right on 3!
1, 2, 3, jump right! Coffey. I'm a senior.
Braden Sims, senior.
Old Dossinger, senior.
Talk about last year. I know y'all couldn't really get any traction as far as getting a bunch of games in a row. Let's talk about how last season went for y'all.
I think last year we didn't have much experience, and I think that really hurt us. You know, starting out hot it's different, but endings how you really want to finish. So I think that hurt. But
What would be the big advantage of this year, because you got everybody back, so you guys probably know all of the play sets and all that. How big advantage that can be for you guys this year?
Definitely going to be beneficial. We're looking to end pretty strong this year. Unlike last year, if we stay healthy, we had some injuries at the end of the year that kind of hurt us. So we're looking to definitely finish strong this year.
What would be the things you guys need to improve on to be able to have a successful season this year?
We just need to stay under control, don't lose focus, and just be in control of the game, really.
I know y'all sophomore year, y'all got to go to, I guess, Rupp Arena.
Yes, sir.
And that was in the region. How much does that motivate y'all to try to do that and repeat that process again? And now that y'all got a little bit of experience behind you.
it's extremely motivating. You know, being out there, you know, we had a good group of seniors that were role models, and you know, gave us a good, you know, ground to look up to. You know, if that makes sense. But, you know, looking at that is a great experience, and so want to get back again.
And of course, the girls went last year. That sort of gives y'all motivation to try to keep the string going and everything. You know, 2-3 years in a row.
Yeah, it's definitely where we want to be coming in the season.
What was it like in Rupp Arena? Just practice or shooting warm-ups or whatever?
It was a surreal experience, and it's really hard to explain, but we definitely want to get back to that stage.
What is y'all's team goals as far as winning district, winning region? What is y'all's goals this year?
Win region for sure. I mean, that's the goal, and whatever happens after that, it's a bonus and a plus, and you know, we want to go as far as we can, obviously.
And of course, another team that probably is going to be one of your main competitors in your same district, Bone, is Wayne County. Talk about that as far as the matchup with Wayne County.
I believe we match up with them pretty well this year. They lost some pretty good seniors last year, and we're looking forward to playing.
What do you think would be y'all's big advantage over other teams in the region this year?
Like you said earlier, we have 9 seniors. We have a lot of experience, and I think we'll know what to do when the time comes.
Okay, gotcha, guys. Chris Breaker, coach of Southwestern High School Warriors. You know, 3 years ago, you had a strong core of like 6 seniors, won the region. Last year, you had some kids had to sort of come up unexperienced. Now you've got, I think, 9 seniors. Talk about this year as far as just being able to get the senior leadership back.
Well, you know, that's a blessing in a lot of ways. You know, when I was lucky enough to take over, I had Peyton Gover and Peyton Cundiff and a lot of kids there that had been through a lot of wars, and they really got us off to a good start. And then, you know, we had kids coming in after them, like you were talking about, Hunter Stevens, Jonathan Gallagher, Jalen Molden, Joe Floyd, guys with experience. You know, last year we threw a brand new team on the floor with, you know, beside Braden Sims, Cole got a few minutes, but we had no experience. So last year, we had a learning curve. We took a lot of lumps and had a lot of just learning experiences. But now we've got those guys back. They've been through those wars. So, I mean, I think we're still on a learning curve, but it's not as steep as it was, and things are getting better. So I think when you add up that experiences, the total experiences that we've had, I think we're going to be a much better ball club.
From a coaching standpoint, it seems like it had to be beneficial because you don't have to teach somebody the plays and stuff unless you introduce new plays. But all these kids that went through those drills and everything.
You know, yeah, that helps. You know, that's always really beneficial. But you know, the thing about it is there's experiences that when you go through for the first time, I mean, they're brand new. How do you deal with it? That's the kind of problems that you really have when you have juniors. We went to Casey County last year. We'd had a great summer, had a lot of enthusiasm, and then, as you know, the old timers say, they turned on the lights and they popped the popcorn, and you could see it in their eyes. We have never been through this, and those experiences, when you haven't been through those, how do you handle going on the road and playing at Pulaski? How do you go on the road and handle playing at Wayne County? How do you handle, you know, basically feeling like we won a game here against Wayne on a last-second shot and having that taken that away? How do you respond? Juniors are figuring that out. Seniors know how to do it.
You know, and I asked them because I guess they'd all had some part of the team that went to Rupp Arena, and I know they've had that magical season, and they had sort of a rough season. So, will that make them hungry to try to repeat what y'all did 2 years ago?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think every player wants to get there. Those kids have had the experience of actually playing minutes on that floor, in that venue, in that setting. Not a scrimmage, but an actual Sweet 16 game. And that can't do anything but help. And people forget those were the guys we practiced against every single day. So they're not bad players. I mean, they offered competition to a team that when they finally got healthy, we went on a run and win the region. So again, there's learning experiences for that. They need to look back, and we've talked to them about all summer. How did those guys handle the adversity they went through? Because you remember that team stayed hurt. And we started off really well, and then everybody got hurt. How did they handle that? That's the kind of lessons that they're going to have to learn. But those experiences are beneficial, and once you've played there, there's nothing like it, and that's your whole goal is to get back. And they talk about it all the time, so that's a driving force.
Other than you've got the senior leadership, but what are some things you need to work on from what you saw last year to make this team successful?
We need consistency. We were really inconsistent last year from that lack of experience. How to get prepared every night, not to take anybody for granted. I think that good teams will tend to play at the level of their competition. Great teams never do that. And good is the enemy of great. And I don't want to be good, I want to be great. They need to learn how to handle that. They know that. That consistency to come in every day and work the same way, to have the same passion every day and not let that interest wane, that's a big thing. Teams that are driven learn how to do that. We need to get better at that. And then just play with confidence. We need to play with confidence. I think sometimes we play a little bit tentative. We don't want to make a mistake. I don't know what the history of Southwestern basketball was like a lot of years before I got here. I know it's a place I always wanted to be, but for the last 8 years or so, except for a blip last year, we've been one of the best programs in the state of Kentucky. I think those kids feel that pressure. They know that history, and they want to live up to it, and I think sometimes that causes us to be a little tentative.
And you're in a unique situation when you talk about being the best in the region. You got to get out of the district first, because usually Wayne County is one of those teams that's probably always playing for a regional title. Talk about, is it Woods' team? Can they win the region?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of teams this year that can win this region, and I think we're definitely one of them. Wayne's got a great program. They have a long-standing tradition. That's what we're building toward. We have 8 years where they have a long tradition of being that way. They've had their ups and downs, but give them credit. They have a program, and that's what we aspire to. And when you look around this region, I think Lincoln's the favorite, obviously. I think they've got a great club. Pulaski has an outstanding team. Somerset. I think right now there's 3 teams in this town that could win the region. And then you throw Wayne in down there across the border, and this area of the region is pretty tough.
In history, looking back, and I know you've been part of it too, but it seems like every year the region's at Pulaski, that's usually a lot of times the better Southwestern years. Is that advantage any at all, like in the region, playing at Pulaski?
I think it's a comfort thing. Again, I think that's one of those things where I kept hearing since I got here, well, we never played good at Lincoln. We never played good at Lincoln. And we won last year at Lincoln. And so that was, people were really excited about that. I think there's a comfort level that comes with playing at PC. But, long as we're playing for it, I don't care if it's at the YMCA up on top of the hill. I just want to be there. So,
good luck, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
My name's Reggie Cundiff and I'm a center.
My name's Lily Turpin and I'm a guard.
I'm Jenna Wood and I'm a shooting guard.
My name's Kayla Hall and I'm a shooting guard.
Okay, when I ask questions, anybody can answer, but just talk about last year, not the experience, going all the way and winning regional, just the experience of together, because I know you guys play in a hotel. Just how did that make you all as far as closer as a team, that experience?
Well, we had to spend every single second together. There's nothing that we did that when we weren't together. We had to sleep in the same beds, we shared the same rooms, and that builds a bond. We've done it before, like summer games and stuff, but like in that atmosphere when you're there fighting for a state championship game, it just makes the bond that much stronger.
Of course, it's easy to think about last year, and last year was great. It was historic for the program, the school, but now you all sort of like he said, you used to where you all were the hunters, and now you're the hunted. So talk about that as far as that everybody's going to bring their A game when they play y'all.
Everyone is going to be prepared to play us for sure, and I don't think we're not going to be prepared to not play anyone. We know we can't take it easy, and we got to embrace that. We do have a target on our back. So we just have to embrace it and keep working hard.
Lily, just talk about last year. What was the most thing that sticks out in your head as far as either region or state or anything?
I think the difference between the first game we played North Laurel and when we played them at Rupp, and I think the fact that even though we were in that atmosphere, we didn't back down and we shut them down almost in the first quarter, and we just played our hardest game and kind of showing how we got from the first game we played them to the last game and how we were still on a run then.
Talk about too, because I think towards the last 2 or 3 games of the season, y'all had, I think Franklin County beat y'all, and y'all had some tough losses. What was the difference between towards the end of the season and once you started getting the district and started rolling the region early?
I just lost my words. Hold on. I got this. No, they just left me.
Well, let me ask you, I know that Coach Butcher made an announcement sometime during that thing. Did that have an impact on the way y'all played, knowing that?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. When we found out that he was done after that season, it kind of motivated us a little bit more to pick up the slack and form a tighter bond to continue to play because we wanted to go all the way.
Talk about Coach Molan, because I mean, when Coach Butcher left, they could have hired another coach, and you had to be used to somebody else. But you guys probably all play for him. So talk about how special that is, getting some guys that you know.
It's very special. I'm glad that we have a junior too, because like we got another coach. We'd have to learn all this new content and stuff, and with him it was like an easy transition. Playing for him it's easy. I love it. It's something we all can adjust to really easy.
What's been the big difference between him and Coach Butcher as far as personalities or anything that y'all want to share that, you got free reign or you want to go?
So, every day when Coach Butcher would come to the gym, we would be able to look at him within a second of walking in. No, he's in a bad mood or a good mood, and if it's going to be a bad day or a good day. So if he walked in with like that look on his face, like he just sent like 3 kids to jail at school that day, we were like, oh crap, here we go, he's taking it out on us. With Junior, his face is the same all the time. His tone is the same all the time. So we're like, is he mad?
We never know.
Is he in a good mood? Like, can we make a joke right now during practice? Like, we cannot tell. But we like it.
Yeah.
How much do y'all think about Rupp Arena wanting to go back there? I know it's probably in your minds, and I mean, the experience had to be once in a lifetime, but it could be twice in a lifetime.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Every day.
Especially it being all of our senior years, I think we would all enjoy going out by going to Rupp.
And we didn't finish the job the first time. Well, that's what we want. We want that last game.
A lot of times, and I talked to Coach about this, a lot of times when teams go the first time with state, they usually just lay an egg and probably go up first round. What made y'all so special in that state tournament? Y'all just kept going.
Sorry.
I don't think we wanted to stop.
No, we loved every second of it.
We wanted to prove ourselves.
And we just kept getting better. It seemed like every game we just kept playing harder and more together, and it was a special moment for all of us.
I think a lot of people thought, oh, it was just like a fluke that they won region.
Everybody doubted
It's
us.
just like, whatever. They like you said, lay an egg. But we wanted to prove everyone wrong. Like, we earned that spot, and we wanted to go as far as we could.
Well, how much were y'all playing on adrenaline? Because it seemed like y'all had every late game, and it had to be tiring at some point because it was just late game.
It was, but when you're in that atmosphere and you know what you're playing for, your energy is just always at the highest it can be. When you're trying to play for a state championship, that's all that's on your mind.
Okay. Y'all got any kind of cheer or something we can end this interview with?
Cheer.
Not cheer, but like when you got timeouts, you do the.
Rupp. We say Rupp.
Rupp on 3.
Okay,
It's always the goal.
Whatever y'all do.
Junior, come here.
Even like a break?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you this is ever since we got beat by Casey right here. Rupp on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rupp. Stupid.
Hello, I'm here with Junior Molan, first-year coach at Southwestern High School girls basketball. And it sort of really feels weird saying first-year coach because since I've been in sports, you've been around Southwestern basketball as long as I remember, whether you be coaching middle school, elementary, AAU, whatever.
Yeah, we was talking about the other day. I've been in that program since 2005. I've been a part of it in every aspect you could think, and I guess this is all that's left, so we're going to try this out.
I know probably because you had two daughters and you've probably been around them coaching. That's what got you into it. But did you ever think that you'd get this level, or you really had wanting to be a high school coach? Or?
When Coach Butcher actually asked me to come on as an assistant, Steve, I actually turned him down the first time, and he got me the next season. And we talked about it before I come on as assistant. I said I had no ambition to be a head coach, and things changed a little bit when he had to step down. It was just the right time. If I'm ever going to do it, right now is the time in my life. So I wanted to take on this endeavor now. I love the program and didn't want to let it down, and I really love this. I really love all these girls. So
we'll be seeing college level anytime soon?
No, this is as far as it goes. No other teams, no anything. I'm a Southwestern Lady Warrior coach, and it won't go no farther than this.
Taking over the first year, a lot of times, you might have an empty cupboard, but I mean, you're loaded. I mean, you only lost one senior, but they've state runner-ups. Just talk about what you got coming back this year.
We are very fortunate. If you're going to take over a situation, take over one. You've got 4 starters coming back. Callie's leadership is going to be hard to replace. We had a little bit of a setback, a big setback this summer with Kylie Foreman going down with the ACL tear, but Marissa Lovelace stepped up. She's actually not been able to play in either of our scrimmages. She's had an ankle issue. We've had some.
Those two were sort of interchangeable last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They kind of were a double 6-man, so to speak. You could use Marissa more on the defensive end and Kylie more on the offensive end. So I'd like to see Marissa more in these 2 scrimmages. I didn't get to use her in either scrimmage where she's been injured. We've had some minor injuries going on, but that being said, I've got some sophomores that are going to pick up where we left off last year. Kaylee Young and Michaela Nordis, they're going to be right there when they get healthy again. They both got a couple little minor injuries going on as well. But yeah, we're being in good shape to make another run at this 12th region for sure.
You hate to have injuries, but even like last year, Kaylee was injured and she didn't really get into like the last part, but then she just started really peaking at the right time. I mean, her game just really came around right when
Callie, on and off the court, her leadership was just the biggest thing. Yeah, she was a double machine them last 9 games, and everything come together really well. But she was such a leader off the court, and that's something we're going to have to replace and do better at. And we've got a couple girls stepping up in that role right now.
You have tons of leadership. Talk about that, how big that is, because you've got some girls that played since 7th grade, and they were impact players even the 7th grade level.
I was looking back when Destiny played back in 2015, her senior year. Kennedy Harris come in and hit big shots for us back then. Alexa Smitty come on the year after that and was immediately kind of thrown into a starting lineup with Samantha Fisher on the 2016 season. So looking back through, these girls have been here. Reggie Cunda was on that 2015 team. She come in and gave a minute or 2 here for Coach Butcher. That was her 7th grade year, and then she was actually a starter on that when she was an 8th grader as well. Coach Butcher took that group all the way to a semifinal tough loss. At the buzzer, Sagan Robbins hit a tough shot on him. That was that year. Samantha Fisher, Elizabeth Latham year. So that was their senior year. So imagine the experience them 2 girls got or them 3 girls got just in that time, and I'm lucky to take over that. In one of our scrimmages the other day, Alexa and me we were both looking at each other on what we wanted to run, and she kind of looked at me, and I knew what we needed to do. She helps me, and she's like a second coach on the court. So,
and talking about Alexa, I mean, she's always been a great point guard, but she really it seemed like in state tournament got to be where she proved herself to be a scorer. I mean, and hopefully that will carry on this season.
Alexa really picked it up right there at the state tournament. If I told her today, you can't score a single point, but that'll get us back to 12th region champions. Again, she'd tell me, okay, well, I'm not scoring a point. That's the type of kid she is. She'll do anything to win. She had a great state tournament, and then she even had a bigger summer. People don't know about that. They're getting ready to know, because she's getting ready to show the 12th region what she can really do. She's a workhorse in here every day, and I'm really happy with her progress so far coming along here. So she's going to be a good leader for this team.
Now, I know also you've been responsible for the younger kids, and I remember in the Pulaski game in the region tournament, you had a lot of kids come in, and they really showed some promise. So you've got some young kids probably going to challenge a little bit, aren't you?
We've got a couple that have been helping out a little bit here in the scrimmages. They've got a lot of good JV time in the last couple of years, freshmen and JV, and I got to coach them a lot. Obviously, coming out of middle school, I'm still doing the middle school program because I want to keep this thing rolling. But they've had a lot of success. Final Four, state runner-up, state championship success in the middle school level. We won an actual JV summer ball state title a couple years ago with these girls that are coming up, and I'm happy. I had a couple of eighth grader and a freshman come in the other day and gave us nice help on our zone press and gave us a little bit of a boost, and we brought our seniors back in and finished off a nice little quarter against Elizabethtown the other day on Saturday. So I'm expecting Aubrey Dalton also to step up and give us some time. She's a sophomore. Aiden Smitty, freshman. She's a shooter, and she's
Get 2 or 3 threes that one game.
yeah, against Pulaski game, I believe you're talking about. She came in and hit a couple quick threes there when we were finishing that game, and she's getting a lot better defensively. I'm trying to get her stronger with her left hand. My daughter Kinsley Moden comes in. They play really well together, her and Aiden, and they gave us a little spark the other day. So I'm hoping to get a little bit out of them. We got Taylor Nelson that's also coming up, giving us a little bit of time at the 5. So we got some youth coming up here that is going to give us a minute or two here when we, especially when we get in a little bit of foul trouble.
Now, had a great season last year. It was a historical season for this program and for the school. But, you're sort of like the Mercer counties. Now, you're going to be the team that everybody's going to play their A game. Everybody wants to take you down because then they can say, hey, we beat the state runner-up. So that's going to make it tough this year.
That's a challenge we're going to embrace, I believe. We know the bullseye's on us a little bit. We're no longer hunting. We're the hunt it. And I think we're going to really embrace that. We talk about it every day in practice, and I think that'll only get us better for February, March right there, just having to play everybody's A game. Everybody is circling. A lot of people I know are circling us on their calendar, but we're going to be ready.
This is sort of a strange question, but I've been around this program. I know you've been around it. And there's always been great talent, and they've always just gotten so close. Did this sort of, for the girls to really embrace this, that they sort of, the Fothergills and all the girls in Firm, the Samantha Fitzgerald, and just, just so much great talent at this school that they finally won the region, then they just almost took it to the state championship level.
It's, them girls were constantly messaging us during our run. Coach Butcher came here in 2013, and he was right there in 14 and 15 with the Addison Quarter, Destiny Moden, Delana Fothergill group, Samantha Fitzgerald, Brittany Combs. Them groups were right on the edge. We're leading in the fourth quarter of these games against Mercer County, and we just didn't get it done for whatever it was. And so that hurt. The 2016 team, we already talked about it. Samantha Fitzgerald and Elizabeth Lazenstein, they're right there on the edge. And one crazy offensive rebound and a shot that goes. It hurt. It hurt so many times with us with the Mercer groups. We were right there, and. But we used that, you're talking about that. Alexis Smitty had a picture on the back of her bedroom door where they lost that game at the boat. She didn't let that go and used it as motivation to be in here, and they're hungry. Alexa talks about, man, it's fun. I'd like to get back to Rupp. Now that it's at Rupp is even more of a prize for the 12th region champions. We were, from the moment that we got put out a couple of years ago, we got beat by Casey County in the semis a couple of years ago. We walked out of that locker room talking about Rupp Arena. Next year it's going to be held at Rupp Arena, and to reach that goal was awesome. And we're hungry. Just because we got another head coach in this position doesn't change our goal, Steve. We're still hungry. The ultimate goal is we want to get back to Rupp.
All right. Well, good luck. I hope we get you there, Coach.
Appreciate you, Steve. Thank you.